Let's start. Philadelphia beats the Rams. Saquon Barkley beats the Rams. Unbelievable. 62 and 78-yard touchdown runs, 205 yards on the ground in the snow. Snowman Saquon Barkley, amazing. This game, just like he was early in the season when he battered the Rams. Rams, I think they gave everything they had. And right at the end, they went hurry up offense. And I thought they had a chance to come back in that game, but they just could not complete enough passes down the stretch. Eagles defense, 2 fumble recoveries, a pick, and 4 sacks of Matthew Stafford. Stafford, in the snow, the cold, slick ball, lousy field conditions, he threw for 324 and a couple of scores. Rams defense, those kids, they had 7 sacks of Jalen Hurts. They were in there right towards the end. Eagles defense survived on the field. Do you know in the final minute 57, the Eagles defense was on the field for 20 snaps? And Rams scored 1 touchdown and got the ball down to the 15 before they finally put pressure on Stafford, and they had 2 misfires right at the end. Now, the Eagles suffered a blow. They're going to the NFC Championship game. They lost both their starting cornerbacks that got hurt, and Jalen Hurts was limping around there with a knee. Stafford threw for 324 in the tough conditions with rib and hand injuries. I thought the Eagles-Rams game, John, that was superb. And the Rams, I think they pushed this thing as far as they could, and they almost beat these guys in Philadelphia.
It's fun. The Rams, they exceeded expectations. So what a good run for them. Like you say, you got to tip a cap to them. But, right when the Rams started, this may be like early in the fourth quarter, they started creeping in, and then Saquon Barkley busts that big run, and you're like, okay, it's over now. And then the next thing you know, the Rams were, not far away from tying the thing up. So what a remarkable season. Let's see if the Eagles can get all the way.
Eagles are dinged up. Rams, I hope Matthew Stafford comes back. He's a great leader. I think he's a great citizen, but I think he's a great leader. What job Sean McVay did. Detroit loses to Washington 45-31. This was the shocker of the weekend. Commanders defense, 5 takeaways. Wound up with 4 interceptions, a fumble recovery. Washington scored 4 touchdowns in a 9-minute, 9-second span in the second quarter, which tilted the game, took the crowd right out of it. Jared Goff, who earlier in the season had a 5-interception game that they wound up winning, could not survive this. 3 interceptions and his own fumble along the way. Jaden Daniels, 299 and 52. The kid does not make mistakes. I don't know that I've ever seen a young quarterback with this type of composure right out of the gate. And Detroit obviously is really hurting. I think all the injuries on defense finally caught up to them. They were running backups to backups in the second half in the secondary, and they just could not get the job done against Jaden Daniels. And Dan Campbell, very emotional guy, he wept in his postgame press conference. That's how devastated Detroit was. Hell of a season. He has really done a great job bringing this together, but this is the second year in a row. They're right there on the doorstep, and they have to go home.
It feels like being a Padre fan, decades of irrelevance. You get close to the big game and you can't get in. I love watching Jalen Daniels. What's crazy? How many players are named Jaden or Jalen and Daniels and McDaniels, and we kind of mix them up by accident. Excuse me. Jaden Daniels is a remarkable talent. What a guy. What a player. Fun to watch him. The Redskins haven't been, or the Commanders haven't had any relevance for a long time. But I just got a feel for the Detroit Lions fans. I mean, they were so into it. They thought this was their year, but not so.
Buffalo survives Baltimore. Buffalo survives the winter. Buffalo, Josh Allen, spectacular. Lamar Jackson was pretty close to it, but the turnovers killed the Ravens again. Buffalo's defense, 2 critical fumble recoveries and an interception. Then the dropped 2-point conversion pass to Pro Bowl tight end Mark Andrews at the end. Josh Allen was held to 127 passing, but he had a couple of touchdowns to running the football. Lamar, in the really rugged weather of upstate New York, he threw for 254 and 2 touchdowns. Mark Andrews, quality player. Critical drop pass, then the drop 2-point conversion. He's really getting bagged on, and I think it's kind of unfairly. If you go back and look at the video, he's running an out pattern to the goal line on a 2-point play. He's slipping and falling backwards. Lamar hits him with a pass down at the belt buckle, low. He's going backwards, reaching forward, has it go through his hands, hit his stomach, and bounce off. Very, very tough catch to make. 9-degree conditions, frozen field, slick football. Ravens ran for 176 in the game. Strong second half. Lamar Jackson, though, is just haunted by postseason failures. This was a great opportunity to get to the AFC Championship game. And instead, Baltimore is going to be like you and me watching this thing on TV. Thoughts?
Yeah, you can't blame Mark Andrews. Have you ever played football in the cold like that? That ball is slippery. It's hard. It's difficult to play. You can't blame him for that game.
Yeah, tough loss. Kansas City found a way to win it. And for the first time in a while, it was not Mahomes and it was not the offense. It was Kansas City's defense. And Houston's gotten close. Houston just has not learned how to take that final step to maybe be an AFC Championship game. Only word I can use to describe the Chiefs was relentless on defense. They win the game. Mahomes managed to stay in the game. Kansas City's defense had 8 sacks, 9 tackles for loss, 14 hits on C.J. Stroud. And Kansas City won it because of the defense. Stroud, for every big play he made, there was a negative play. It was like he was behind the sticks all day. It was like second and long, third and long all day in Kansas City. Mahomes threw for $177. Travis Kelce Swift, 7 receptions, 117 yards. He came up with a really good game. You know Mahomes' career record in postseason is 16-3. Do you know he's 11-2 at Arrowhead in postseason in his career? Do you know Andy Reid is 30-5 coming off a bye week? And Andy Reid got his 300th career win. That was a hell of a game. When in modern times did you ever say Kansas City's defense won the game with a team that has Patrick Mahomes on the offensive side of the football?
Yeah. I mean, you know, the Chiefs, here we go again. You think they can three-peat?
Awful tough, because there's some awful good people still left in the playoffs. But if the defense shows up and plays that way, coupled with Mahomes, I guess anything's possible. You're an NFL fan. I don't care what team you're rooting for. I want you to jump on board. Fans Forum chat box is open. And by the way, if you're a displaced Charger fan, we worked really hard to do those special podcasts Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The Chargers' 30th anniversary of the greatest moment in Charger history, the weekend they won the AFC Championship game in Pittsburgh. If you watched it, hey, get in Fans Forum. Tell us what you thought. If you've never watched it, just go on the YouTube channel. You can scroll and you'll see the 3 special programs that we put up as it relates to the Chargers' greatest moment in history. Feel free to jump on board. Who wants to talk NFL football?